Hi everybody, we're on to card number 3. This is a simple fun fold card, and it's called Celebrate. The inside does not have a greeting. It does have some stamping, and you can add, you could make this into a birthday card, a wedding card, a shower card, any event or where you would want to celebrate. So let me plug in my phone here. Don't want it to stop in the middle of our video. Okay, so this is what our card looks like. I did have a bow on here. I decided I did not like that. So I kind of deconstructed that and just did a little faux bow here. Sorry, I know that plastic envelope is a glare, but this is our card. And I also had forgot to put my bow on there. I wanted to wrap it around this white and designer paper layer, not this whole panel here. So that I have instructed you to do different. I will do that different on the card that we're going to make. I didn't really want it there like that, but I left it, and I just put a glue dot to hold that in place. So our card opens like this. It's a Z. It's called a Z fold. Many different kinds of Z folds. Some just have a little strip down here that pops out. This is the card that I had to redesign from scratch because I decided, here's what we were going to do. I will show it to you. This is the card we were going to make. I love it, but it is complicated. And it is very hard to get these pieces to line up. And after I cut the paper, they were not lining up. So I just decided to scrap it, and maybe we'll do that at another class. But I wanted to use this paper. This is one of the free Celebration papers that's in, you purchase $50 in product, and you get that paper free. I'll show it to you in the catalog here. It's called Flight and Airy, and it is free with a $50 purchase. And it is really pretty paper. I like the back sides too. And they have a few cards here as examples. Also, this pool party ribbon is one of the things that's in the Celebration as a free product. Usually ribbon sells out really fast. I have not even taken a chance or taken a moment, to look at the stock inventory report to see if anything is sold out yet. But usually Celebration stuff sells out, well, into February. The first part of February, they've sold out usually on some things, but I have not had a chance to look. I will try to look between now and the next video. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make, the Celebrate, and we're going to use Flirty Flamingo and Garden Green are the colors that we're using. So this is all a die cut. All of this, it's not stamped. This is stamped. And if you want like a not as a dark of a color here, you could stamp off once on a piece of scrap paper and then stamp your flowers and your leaves. I opted to do a darker green on, well, I did the opposite of what I meant to do. I meant to do a darker green on the outline part, and then on the part that fills in, I was going to stamp off, and I did it backwards. It's fine. It still works. And on the flowers, I did the darker outline and then stamped off on the solid part of the flower. And this just punches out with a punch, which I forgot to set aside. I have stuff everywhere right now. Let me see real quick. Did I put it away? I don't see it put away. I mean, how do you lose a punch? It should be in one of these baskets, but... Oh, here it is. Okay, this uses the Petal Park bundle, and this is the actual punch for it. And then the stamp set is Sentimental Park, and this punches out these flowers, and they stamp like in a set of 3. So when I stamp this small one at the top because that's how it's going to punch out, and it punches out all 3 at one time. One little tip let me give you on photopolymer stamps is when you go to put these on your block, do not try to put them on yourself like this. You can, like, especially if it's something long and skinny, you can skew it. You just throw it down and pick it up with the block like that. And that lets, leave it sit there for just a second, and that leaves the photopolymer to go back to its original size and shape. So that's put this card together. Okay, this is a fun fold. So this is going to, I've already got it all scored for you. And let me set this out of the way. This is going to score in half like a normal card. Just a second. Let me get my bone folder. Always fold your cards with a bone folder or a block, something that's going to give you some crisp edges. Now, since this is a fun fold, we're going to fold this back on itself. This is a very easy measurement. All you do is you score at 4 1/4. This is 4 1/4. And then so this would be 4 1/4, and you're going to cut that in half. Not cut it, but I mean fold it in half. So you're going to fold that at 2 1/8. Okay. Now, to get started, we're going to layer, all my pieces here out of the way. We're going to layer this onto this, and we're going to put our ribbon on before, and this is just a tiny border, like an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch. And we're going to put it right here on this little panel. So you don't want to put glue over here. You only want adhesive where it's going to lay on this, because otherwise it's going to glue your whole card closed. You won't be able to open it because it's going to do this. So let's get this put together first. Little birds on the back of this paper. Get a little bit to the edges, to the corners, I mean. Okay. Needs to go over to the left a little bit. And I didn't put much glue on it, so I'm probably going to need to put a little bit more. I mean, if you really skimp on the glue, you probably won't be able to scoot it. But, come on. kind of recommended that you do it. And I just stuck my finger in the glue. There, that's better. Like on the long side, glue, try to glue from the long side so that you don't, I stuck my finger in the glue and now I've got glue here. Let me let that dry for just a second. And I will use my glue eraser. If you don't have one of these, they are really handy. Little spot right there. It just rolls the glue right off. Not sticky anymore. Okay. Now, let's take our ribbon. This is a combo pack of ribbon. It was called Ribbon Duo Combo, and I think it has lemon lime twist maybe, and flirty flamingo. Well, we're going to use the flirty flamingo on ours. Oh, I wish the eraser took glue off of your fingers. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive back here. Oh, I should have put it up here, actually. Kind of toward the edge. And I'm going to stick that on like this. Cut. I'm going to set that aside for just a second, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to this panel. If I get glue here, then it does not want to stick on my, oh, that's the end of the thing, that's why. Okay. All right. It wants to pull up my paper sometimes. Now this needs to, I mean, this will have like, look like it's a solid, you know, solid front card. And so you need to center this best you can so that it looks like it's centered pretty much all the way around. Now this was cut just a little bit shorter width-wise because this was for that other card. But I wanted to save this paper, so I went ahead and used it as it was. Okay, now I'm going to wait to put the bow on my, faux bow on my ribbon because I have other stuff to put on the front of here yet. Okay, let's do that. I cut a tag out of the Thoughtful Expressions. I used the second largest tag out of this set. These nest, so you could, you know, layer with a dark color and then, or a, you know, solid color of cardstock, and then put your white on top of it and you would have a border around. Same thing with these. I've seen these used quite a bit. I have not used these yet, the scalloped ones. So we've used that. Our Celebrate that we're going to put on here comes from the Wanted to Say dies. They have Happy Birthday. So this cuts out the detail. Like this cuts out this part. And then you have this hollow piece like this that cuts out your shadow. So this shadows your greeting or sentiment. And it has Happy Birthday, Celebrate, a few flowers and stuff over here, a package. What else? Happy Birthday, Celebrate, You're Too Kind, Feel Better Soon are the four sentiments that are in this die set. And I think this was a standalone die set, like that didn't really have a stamp set that it was attached to. And there was a set of flowers in the catalog also. I think it was I don't remember if it was the annual catalog, but it's just flowers, and there's no stamp set that, you know, it doesn't come as a bundle, is what I'm trying to say. I have got pearls everywhere. Found one on my shirt yesterday. Okay, so that's the other dies that we use, and then of course this is Sentimental Park is the stamp set that we're going to use, and it has a ton of greetings on it. And then it also comes with dies. And these tags, which I should have used one of these tags on this since we're using flowers, but I already had the others cut out when I remembered that this die set was so cool. So maybe we'll use it on another card later in another stamp class. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take your pick tool, and we're going to pick off the backing. Let me put my glasses on here so I can see. Now some of these, it's like not, the whole word is not covered, just most of it, but not all of it. So you may have like a strip down the middle that's not covered. It may be all covered. It just depends on how the adhesive, the pieces I had cut. It peels off really easy. Just be careful you don't tear your greeting sentiment. I always say greeting. I'm not sure why. I mean, technically, I think they're sentiments, but... Okay, so all of the adhesive has been removed, and I have just these little scraps. And then this will center on. I'm going to place the C first. I think I just hit the camera, sorry. Okay, and then carefully put each letter stuck to my fingers. Celebrate. And if it doesn't, like say you ended up with glue or adhesive on most of it, but say not on the end, like right here, take a little pin, one of Henley's little cards that I keep on my board up here. Just take a pin and put a little bit of glue on your silicone mat like this. Take your glue, put a little dot, come out, okay, like this. And then just take your pen and apply just a little dab to the back of that tail and stick it down. Stick a little dab under. Okay, and then let that glue dry and it'll roll right off of there. Set it where I won't set something on top of it. Okay, and then I'm going to center this on top of my tag. And I'm just going to use some mini dimensionals. Get this sheet started. And I probably could put a little piece use it all. Use the edges. And I'm going to use this along the edge right here on the C. We also have black dimensionals for when you are using like Night of Navy or black or something like that. So we'll put this right over here. I don't know where that went, but it's not on there. And there's some people that I have seen a demonstrator tip. I've got a little piece sticking out of the corner here. Let me cut this. That take an ink pen and go down each strip, each row of their dimensionals. And then when they use them, they can tell which ones are sticky and which ones are not. You know, if they've taken the tops off or whatever. Without having to, like, you know, touch each one. Okay, so that's centered on our... Actually, it's not centered. It needs to go down on one side. Never press your stuff down until you are sure where you want it. These will... like I can rotate this down just a tad bit. And then I press down when I've got it where I want it. Okay, I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to attach a few flowers. I mean, you could use white. I think I did cut a couple of these in white, but you could layer them. So we're just going to dot some glue on our silicone mat and attach these. The solids are not hard, but the ones that have the little outlines, I just use the pen to put those on. So I started with the biggest solid one. And then the small solid one. You could use many dimensionals to pop one or so of those up if you wanted to. And then with the this, I'm just gonna stick the edges kind of in the glue as I drop it onto the mat. I don't want that there. I want that there. And then I want this here. To get my chamois and kick that off. It'll wipe right off. If you thought about, you know, if you have a wish list, you can always just become a demo. You don't have to demonstrate anything. You don't have to do classes or nothing. You can just use it as a discount. You can be what they call a discount shopper. And get your own discount. And if you just get the, you know, say you have a wish list of $99 or, you know, whatever the current amount is. I'm going to get a little extra glue here. I'll have to let this dry and then clean it up. You can join just to get your, you get, I think it's I want to say $135 in product for $99 or something like that. Or, but one of the incentives to become a demonstrator right now is this glass mat, which I love it because anything you get on it, you can just wipe right off. A lot of times if you're stamping off, I use, now because I was doing your kits, I used scrap paper, but if it's just me stamping my own card, I can stamp, you know, say I was stamping something on here, and I want it to stamp off the side, I can just stamp it, and then when I'm done, just wipe the ink right off. If I'm doing watercolor and I want to put down just a couple of little blotches of ink on the glass mat, I can just make a couple dots up here, spray it with a little water, and pick it up with my brush. And these were extra flowers that I did not use. And then I need some pearls. Put one here. And we'll put one here. And we'll add one here. Okay, there's my tag. Set it aside for a second. Now we're going to stamp the inside real quick. Tools out of the way. Okay, where is my card panel? Oh, I have extras cut. I will just grab one over here. Make sure this is not. This is okay. Now, when I put this in, I'm gonna make sure that when I close this, this doesn't stick out. Okay, so set this aside for just a second. Desk is not big enough. Okay, and then we still need our ribbon to make a little bow. Set that aside. I need my green. The lid on the glue real quick. And I need the Flirty Flamingo. So, when I put these, I have both of these on the same block. But when I put these on, what I did was, another pearl, what I did was, I threw it down and I let it sit for a little bit. I'll show you how to do this one too, because this one is got a trick. See how thin that is? Be very careful when you're taking those thin pieces off that they don't rip. Okay, I'm just gonna drop that. Now, I'm gonna put the first one on. Now, we'll go ahead and stamp the detail before I show you how to do this. So let's ink this up. And this, I should have used a bigger block, but I think I have them still packed away from class. And this was the next biggest I had sitting over here, and it's like gigantic. So I'm just making do with this one. Now, for my outline, this is the one that does, like, see, It's got all of the veins of the leaves and stuff. And if you find that you're not getting a good image when you first get a stamp set, it's photopolymer, and it's got kind of a fuzzy image. It may have a chemical still on it from when they pressed the stamp set. So just take your chamois and wash it really good. And sometimes people use an eraser and go over it with an eraser. Okay, so we're going to stamp this towards the bottom of our cardstock, full strength. Okay, doesn't look like much, does it? Okay, now I'm going to take this off so that I can show you. I mean, I stamp with them on both sides all the time, but I want to show you how to do this. So now we need to line this up with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to lay it down on my stamped detail. And I hope my head's not in the camera. We're going to do it just like that. That's perfect. Line this one up. That's pretty perfect. If I could keep it from sticking to my fingers. Then I'm going to pick it up with my block. So now I know this is going to line up with, see, I really did need a bigger, but we're going to make do. And this is the detail. Now see how dark that is? I think I will stamp off once. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. Okay, I'm going to stamp off, get a lot of the ink off, then I'm going to blow on it, or huff on it. Then I'm going to line this up. And we know it lines up because we've already put it on there to see. And this does not have to be perfect. It's not supposed to be exactly perfect. That's the way it was designed. And I'm just going to push this little part that's hanging over the side. And there. Now see, it's supposed to have white space in it. So now this space is for our flowers. Now let's set this aside. Grab that. Now we're going to close this. We're done with our green. And we're going to go to our Flirty Flamingo flowers. Okay, I need a piece of white. What did I do with the other piece of white? I think I thought it was extra. Okay. That'll fit. Okay, I'm going to do the outline first. Same thing. You can let this fall. Pick it up. Take this stamp. I'm going to line it up after I stamp this outline. And we're not going to stamp it on here because we're going to use our punch to punch the flowers out. So that's why we're using an extra piece of paper. Okay, set that aside. I'm going to take my solid stamp. This is the one that's got all of the, the solid leaves of the flowers, petals. And I'm going to put it, got to pull this a little closer, I can't see. I'm going to try to line this up as best I can. Pick it up on my block. Now I know it matches because I lined it up. Now this one I'm going to stamp off a little bit of the ink. I don't want it, so harsh. And then you want to line it, hover over it, and make sure all of your edges are kind of lined up. Perfect. And I say perfect, but I am the worst perfectionist I think that ever lived, and I really have been trying as I get older. Not everything has to be perfect, which has been a hard realization for me. Okay, so we're going to line this up in our punch, and you can see we'll start with the top flower. Okay, we have it lined up. Then we'll move to our left one. It has to come up a little bit. And then look at our right one. And that's pretty good. I didn't want a leaf, so, I mean, it punched the leaf out, but I don't need one, so we're going to throw that away. Close our punch and set it aside. And we have 3. Close this up. This is when, if you were going to put another sentiment inside here, you would do it now or before you did the green. So we're going to put the, let's see, which one did I pop up? Okay, I put the solid down with glue. Could have used glue dots if you wanted. And then I'm going to use mini dimensionals to put the smaller flowers on. Okay, there's our inside panel. Now we're going to put it in our card, and like I said, we want to try to watch so that we don't get it want to attach it where this lines up and you don't see it outside. So if you just take it and line it up with this panel, lay it down, you should be good to go. So let's put some glue on the back. And I'm pulling that. You saw me. I got a little close to the edge there. I'm just pulling it back with the edge of my glue. Okay. I'm just going to line this up. Lay it down. And that is a little on the crooked side. So let's pull this back up. Twist it around a little bit here. See, guys, I have struggles too with sometimes getting things lined up. Well, that pulled the tape up, pulled my paper up. So, and what would I do if, to fix that? I would take another piece of this Flirty Flamingo. I would cut it to the 4¼ by 5½, and I would just glue it right over the top of it. But for now, I am just going to put this where it's supposed to be. Line this back up again. Not sure why that went in crooked. It should not have. There. So I will fix that with another sheet of Fleur de Flamingo before I would mail this card to anyone. Also, before you adhere it, you're lining it up with this panel, kind of pull it over and look to see, if I lay this down, is it going to be straight? And then you shouldn't have the problem that I just had, which I did not have on the first one, so go figure. Okay, so we're going to pop this up with dimensionals. And I'm going to use the bigger ones for this. Those are little. Here's some big ones. I'm going to put one on each of the edges here. And one in the middle. I have such trouble getting a hold of these. I really do better when I use my pick. What is happening? That somehow doesn't have glue on it. I can add a glue dot and still use it though. First time I've had that happen. First for everything, I guess. Okay, you could also take Wink of Stella on this card and splatter it before you put your greeting on. And I just want this down towards the bottom. And I think I will put my ribbon, tie my ribbon first. Just need a small piece as I throw it over there. Faux ribbon is just taking your ribbon and tying it. Like I said, I had it in a real bow where you wrapped it all the way around, tied it in a bow. I did not like it for this card. And you can trim those tails as short as you want. Let's see, I want that little bit of the bow under the tag. Okay, and that card's done. Like I said, I will go back and cut a new piece of Fleur de Flamingo to fix that. Or I could take this whole panel off and fix it. But anyway, see, I have issues with the cards sometimes too. I do not do everything perfect, and sometimes it's just a good learning tool to see, okay, how can I save this card? How can I fix this? Sometimes it's not fixable and you have to throw it away or start over or deconstruct your card as best you can and make a new base for it. So it happens to everyone. So there is our third card. Let's trim that ribbon just a little bit. Still attached. Okay. See, here's where I have issues. When I start trimming the ends of the bow or the end of my ribbon, then I end up with, okay, now I got to take a little bit over here. Oh, well, a little bit over here, now a little bit over here. Anyway, there's our And if you have trouble, sometimes people have trouble with their bows coming undone, just stick a little glue dot under there and that'll hold it in place. Or if you don't want, like, you don't want this to, if you just wrapped it all the way around, like I did the first time, I just use a little glue dot under it. But I want that just a little bit to stick kind of under there. Okay, that's card number 3. And I will shut this video off. Remember to like and comment, please. And especially let me know which card is your favorite. Which card do you like the best? All right, on to number 4.